It will guaranteed destroy your mental health and destroy you as a person. True Mofos, welcome back to another episode of The Underestimated Entrepreneur. Learn helplessness. This is what most people have. They don't know that they have it. It tends to be more of an unconscious pattern. But so many people out there have put themselves in a situation where they've learned how to be helpless. Now, the symptoms of this is that when people have put themselves into a state of learned helplessness, they start to doubt themselves more. They become more afraid and scared. They get stressed out and angry with themselves and others. They start to criticize themselves a lot. They start to criticize others a lot. And they feel like they're just stuck in life, like things aren't moving, they're not getting the results that they want. And they lose their enthusiasm and ambition. And so then they trade their enthusiasm and ambition for immediate gratification. This is why most people go out and get wrecked on the weekend. This is why most people need to buy a new car every 3 years. It's why people have to do things that give them this immediate gratification, whether it's binge eating food, overeating. It's what happens when you have learned helplessness. Now, everyone goes through these stages, but my question to you is, how common is learned helplessness for you? Now, you might be wondering, what is learned helplessness? Well, it's where you try things, and when you fail, you may be criticized, you may be judged, you may be put down by yourself or others. And so over time, you realize that it's better to not try than to try and fail. And every week I have this where I hop on the phone with a business owner and they go, I really want to grow my business. And I go, cool, well, here's what you need to do, because they tell me they're stuck, they're frustrated, they're not getting the cash flow they want, can't find the good staff, maybe they're not getting enough leads. There's something going on, right? So there's a problem. Now, the obvious thing is that there's a problem, and so we find a solution and we execute it. That's as simple as it is, right? Problem, solution, execute. It's really that easy. But then what happens is they know that the problem's there, the solution's in front of them, but they put something else in the way. So they go, oh yeah, I definitely want to do it, but it's just not the right time. Great. That's a great stall. Now, what will happen is that person then now gives themselves the freedom, that they remove the pressure off of themselves. Decisions, they're a pressure. So when I have to make a decision to grow, it's pressurizing. But pressure creates expansion. So you expand when you commit to something, build the pressure up, and then you've got to grow into that next level of yourself, or you've got to push the business into the next level. But most people are really uncomfortable with that pressure. And so then what they do is they want to back off the pressure. So these business owners, they sit there and they go, you know what, I just don't think it's the right time. And I go, hang on, you've got a problem, right? The problem is you're not growing, you've got cash flow issues, or you've got, staff issues or whatever it is. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, cool. So we now know the problem. Is there anything else? No, that's the real problem. Okay, and you want to fix it. Yep. And it's important to fix it. Yep. Okay, excellent. So now what we need to do is either you need to learn something new, you need to do something different. So you either need to develop a mindset or you need to develop some form of skill set or both. So then when it comes time to commit, so let's say they've got to invest some money and they've got to invest some time and they've got to invest some energy into resolving this problem, they then go, oh, I just need some time to think about it. Well, what do you need to think about? Problem, solution, execute. The thing that they're avoiding is the commitment. Until you commit, you're never really committed. I spoke about this last night on my mindset coaching call. Some of you were on there. But what I said is that until you commit, you're never really committed. So I've just booked my trips to the US. When I spoke to a bunch of people over there, they said, when are you coming to the US? And I said, September. I have no flights booked, no accommodation booked, nothing booked. There's nothing apart from just a blank spot in my calendar. But I know I have to grow into it and I need to make a commitment. So I go and lock in a podcast. Then I go, oh shit, now I need flights, accommodation. I got to get over there. Now, to fly to the US, to have accommodation, everything like that, if I want to do it in a half decent way that doesn't burn me out and feel like shit, it's going to cost a lot of money. So now I go, crap, how do I optimize this trip? Can I get clients over there? Maybe. Can I book in more podcasts? Maybe. Who can I go hang out with and film content? Who can I get on my podcast? So all of these questions pop up because I've already made the commitment now. So because I'm committed, I have to make it work. So I have to go and find the money to make it work. I have to now go and figure out what the strategy is and what the game plan is, because that commitment's there now, it's done. Because I committed, I'm committed. When you don't commit, you're never committed. So when people go, I want to lose weight, but then they go, I might start next week. Well, you're not committed. So of course you're not going to lose weight. And then Monday comes and they go, yeah, I might go get a gym membership. Well, might's not a commitment. Go get the fucking membership. Then the next thing is, right, what's the next commitment? Well, I need to get my diet on track. Great, book in with a dietitian. Excellent. What's the next thing? Well, 12 weeks later, I'm committed to having my photo shoot. So I got 12 weeks now and I got a photo shoot booked. Shit, now there's more pressure. Because of that, you are more likely to hit that goal in 12 weeks. Most other people are going to sit there and go, I just need some time to think about whether this gym membership is right. I might go home and I might talk to my partner and you're not committed. You were never committed. Never. So when a business owner tells me that they want to grow their business, they make a time objection or a time excuse. They make a money excuse and a financial excuse. How the fuck can you be a business owner and have an excuse about money? You would not allow your customers to have excuses, right? If I went and someone said, I want a garage, and I went to their house and I was quoting for a garage and I said, right, here's the cost. And it wasn't over excessively crazy. Like if it wasn't 10 times the amount of what they're expecting, if it's in the ballpark and they say, oh, that's expensive, I don't know that would have the money for that. And why the fuck are you getting a quote in the first place? You haven't filtered them out. You haven't filtered them. How much did you think a garage was going to cost? Like, did you not do your research before ringing? Like, are you that stupid? Right? That's most people. But then what happens is they use that as a way of learned helplessness. So they'll sit around and complain. They'll say things like, oh man, business is tough. Staff are unreliable. And they'll complain all the time. That's a form of learned helplessness. They're saying, I don't have a fucking solution and I don't have the balls or the courage to make a damn commitment because I don't back myself enough to make things work. So what I'm wanting is the perfect plan and the perfect scenario so that I can be 100% confident that everything's going to work. That's the reason why you suck. That is the reason why you're failing. That is the reason why you feel like shit. That is the reason why your mental health is getting destroyed. That is the reason why your goals are fading off into the distance because every year you have a birthday and you look back at the last year and you go, fuck, I didn't get what I wanted. And that's why you feel like shit and are destroying your self-worth. Right? That's really the truth. I wish I could say that on every phone call that I have with someone that's like, yeah, man, I want to do all this stuff. And then it comes time to make a commitment and they go, yeah, man, and then all the bullshit comes out. Right now, my job as a salesperson is to help them through that, right? That's cool. But my point is if you're listening to this podcast, you're a driven person. I'm telling you this because you're not like the average people. Average people are like 1,000 times worse, right? They're 1,000 times worse because they allow this shit to prevent them from moving forward. I know people in my family that for 20 years, they've been complaining about their weight and their body image. It's like, cool. This year, we're going to go to the gym? What, you made a New Year's resolution? Oh, you made the New Year's resolution? Oh, that's right. You're on holidays. Oh, you're on holidays. When you get back on January the 14th and it's the first week of work, then you'll sign up for the gym, right? Because now we can put off that decision. Oh, and then the 14th comes, but the kids have to go back to school in 2 weeks and you're too busy. And so now let's put it off again. Oh, that's right. You wait until February now because January's a write-off. You do it next month. Ah, okay. Oh, but it's coming up to winter. So I'm going to do it in spring. So we push it off to spring. Then spring comes and, I better do my spring clean on my home. Work got busy. Here's all the bullshit that people keep using to put it off, to keep putting off making the decision because they lack the courage and they lack the clarity of what they want. Clarity and courage are the two things that stop everyone. When you're clear and you've got balls to make the decision, fuck it, you just go for it. I had clarity. I knew what I wanted. Right, I'm going to the US in September. That was last year. I said that was it. September this year, I'm going. I worked my ass off to try to get on a podcast over there because I knew once I locked it in, it's game on. Once I locked in that podcast, bang, now we have to go. Now we have to make it work. I got to come up with the money. I've got to figure out how we're going to do it. I've got no fucking itinerary. I have no idea where I'm going. All I know is that I got a podcast booked in Miami and the rest of the shit I have to make work. That's why I outperform most. And if you're sitting here listening to this and you're a business owner and you're stuck, and you don't know why you're not moving forward, it's because you lack courage and you lack clarity and you have no fucking idea what you're doing and you don't have the balls to go for it. It's one of those two things. Because you know the problem. You know that you're stuck. My question is, who are you asking to get unstuck? And if you don't have a solution for that and you're trying to figure it out on your own, here's the truth. If you could figure it out on your own, you would already have it figured out. You can't. You have to go out to somebody else. This is why I have mentors. Right? Sunday night. It's 8 o'clock at night. I just got off the business coaching call. At 8 o'clock, it was 7 o'clock, I did my coaching call, business coaching call. At 8 o'clock at night, I get on a Zoom call with Jess, the head of operations for $1 billion company, and the head of finance for $1 billion company. And we sit there and we go through and we start to build out all our financial modeling. Why did I do that with those two people? Do they cost a lot of money? Yeah. Do I have the money? No. But here's the thing, that if I don't go and ask for their help, I'm never going to have the money, because I'm always going to be stuck in the same financial position, because I can't grow the business, because I don't have the knowledge to be able to work through the processes, the operating processes in the company, nor do I have the ability to work through the financial modeling, because my skill set is not financial modeling and it is not operations. And so I hire two people to come in to help me build that knowledge, to help me to grow, because I don't have the clarity. If I knew how to do it, I would fucking do it, but I don't. So I go out and I reach out to experts and I say, hey, I need some help. And they go, here's the price, here's the time commitment, let's roll. And we go and get it done. And I hold them accountable. If it doesn't work, I put pressure on them, which everybody should, right? I have clients, good clients, put pressure on me. Hey man, we haven't had our session this month. When can I lock it in? Bang, they got pressure on me. Why? Because they want the result. But that's it. They have to manage other people to get that result. I manage my mentors, right? I book in when I need them. So what my point is if you don't have the results that you want, and you don't have the clarity, and you don't have the courage, then you've got to work on one of those two things. If you think that you're going to develop the clarity yourself by not having the right people around you to develop the clarity, whether it's in your personal life, like walking into a gym and going, oh, I don't have the clarity how to exercise, but I'll just get on a treadmill and I'll just lift some weights. I see people do this shit all the time on social media. They walk into a gym, they start exercising and they film it. They look like fucking Gumby. Why? Because they've never been trained how to use the exercise equipment properly. They've got no idea about how their posture should be, how the movement should be. They've got no idea. All they know is that they just need to start moving some shit. So they start moving and it looks stupid. How many people do I see running every day? People run past me just before summer in springtime. Everyone's out running and I watch how they run. As someone who is trained in that in the past, gait patterns and human performance and human movement, that used to be physical rehab was my past. That's sort of where I started this journey. Now, when I watch them run, I'm like, oh my God, their hips are going to be destroyed. Their lower back is going to be destroyed. Their neck is going to be destroyed. Like they are destroying their body by running. They have the right theory. I need to lose some weight, so I need to move more. Great. But you don't know what you're doing with exercise. So go hire a coach. Go hire someone who can help you do that. You don't need to pay right now, right? You might not pay right now by running your ass around the block, but you're going to pay in 2 years' time when your back is smashed, when you can't get out of bed, when your hips are destroyed and you need to go have a hip replacement. So why not just go figure it out properly now? Why not just go hire someone who is a coach who can maybe spend an hour with you? All it takes is an hour, and ask them, how do I run? What are some key things? When you walk into the gym, go to a personal trainer. That's why gyms are great, because a lot of gyms these days say, hey, when you sign up, we'll give you an hour with a personal trainer. They're going to show you how to do things. And if you take notes and you're smart, or you can go to Google these days and look it up, you can learn yourself. Just by doing that, you're going to have clarity and you're going to move forward a little bit faster. Now, if you're smart enough, you go, right, I want results in 12 weeks. I'm going to hire a personal trainer to hold me accountable, to keep me consistent, and to learn better habits. That's how you win the game of life. When you don't do that, you're going around in circles. People do it all the time with money. Man, I'm working so hard and I'm not getting anywhere financially. Well, of course not. How many people have mentored you in the area of finance? Oh, that's right, 0. What are your parents like with money? Oh yeah, not good. Great. So you learn off of them. What are the chances of your success financially? 0? 2%? Maybe you'll figure it out on your own in the next 30 years? Maybe. Most people don't. So where are your mentors? Who are you getting coached by? How are you getting clarity on how to move forward? Look, guys, I know that I'm being really super critical in this, but learn helplessness is probably the number one thing. Like, I don't even give a fuck about people competing with me in my industry because most will destroy everything themselves. I know that most of you who are listening to this right now, the biggest problem that you have is you. It's the way that you think, because everything is right in front of you. You probably even know all this stuff, but you're just not executing because you either lack the clarity or the courage. And you don't have the ability to reach out to somebody and say, hey, I'm going to pay for your years and decades of knowledge so that I can move forward fast. That's why I beat most people, right? Most people I grew up with, they're like, man, how did you do it? And I'm like, I just fucking learned from people smarter than me. And they're like, oh, okay, well, and then I watch them, they like glaze over. Because in order to do that, you've got to pay them. How do you pay them when you don't have the money to start with? Well, you've got to put yourself under pressure. You make the commitment and then you figure it out and then you move forward. So if you don't do that and you don't go through that process, how do you fucking grow? It's the pressure that creates growth. It's the adversity. It's when I sit here and I'm like, shit, man, I can't even pay the bills this month. What do I have to fucking do? That's the time where I grow the most, because I have to sit and I have to reflect and I have to sort of put all the knowledge that I have together and I make shit work. Or if not, I reach out to somebody and I go, hey man, look, I'm stuck here. How do I make this work? And they go, cool, let's hop on a call and figure it out. And I pay them and we move forward. Bang, we get it done. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. We're in a huge growth spurt in the business. This year, I think I've already spent, it's at least over 50K already. Actually, it's probably more than that because that's US dollars. I've already spent that this year on mentors and coaches alone. And I haven't even been to a personal development or a growth event. These are all just like one-on-one coaches. By the end of the year, I guarantee I would have spent at least 120,000. Now, most of you, that's more than a lot of you earn. So I don't expect you to do that. But what I do expect is that these things here, these specific things here, the tips that I'm giving you, these are tools that you need to consistently use. If you're not consistently using those tools by working with people, working with mentors, reaching out, listening to them, and then consistently stepping up, you'll get stuck. I know that some of you have been listening to this podcast for ages. You've got the knowledge and it's helped you to grow. You grow a little bit and then what next? You weren't thinking about the next step. And so now you're stuck at this step. When you have an increase in wage or an increase in finances or an increase in mindset, you need to be reaching out to go to the next mentor so that you can start to grow again for the next level. If not, you'll get stuck. Your lifestyle expenses will increase. The amount of work that you do within a day will increase. And so you'll be bottlenecked again. Most of you are bottlenecking your own life through learned helplessness. You're just going, well, I don't know what to do next. Well, that's not anyone's fucking problem apart from your own. What are you going to do about it? That's learned helplessness. Just realize you're just one of those people right now who complain in your own head about the shit that you're in. You complain to others about the shit that you're in and you're not doing anything about it. These are like the worst fucking people. Once your mindset does that, I remind myself all the time, when I do that, get straight back into my head and go and resolve this issue because I am one of the worst people. When my brain goes to learn helplessness, I know that I'm being one of the people that I don't like being around. These are the people that I don't like spending time with. Why would I like to spend time with myself when I'm stuck in my own head, criticizing and judging myself and then judging and criticizing others because I'm fucking stuck because I'm either mentally lazy or I don't have the courage or the clarity to drop the hammer and to move forward. That's really what it comes down to. So look, guys, today was an ass kicker. It's what you need to step up. Most of you are sitting there not doing anything. You're waiting until the perfect time. It never exists. Every motherfucker that's never achieved what they want is still waiting for that perfect opportunity, the perfect time, until they're ready. You're never ready, right? Speak to parents and you say, how did you know you were ready for kids? And they're like, you're never ready for kids. Great. Why don't we take that same principle and put it in every area of life? Are you ready to have great health? The answer is probably no. So let's go for it anyway, right? Because you know you want better health. Are you ready to start dieting? No. Are you going to have the perfect week all the time? No. So now what are we going to do? Let's move forward and let's make shit happen. Are you ready to grow your business? Probably not. Fuck it. Let's go for it. Are you ready to invest money financially? Probably not, but do it anyway. The start is always the hardest until you develop the habit. So breaking through to that next level always sucks. It always sucks. I love it though. Every time I'm there and I'm like, man, this sucks. I know that that's the most exciting, fun part because that's me getting ready on the launch pad to take off, right? It's like being on a plane. People get nervous normally during takeoff and landing. Why? Because takeoff is when everything's vibrating and unless you get a bit of in-air turbulence, but turbulence is pretty safe in most cases. Most of the time, most accidents happen on landing and takeoff. So when are you going to have the biggest problems is normally when you start and normally when you get to a level where you're actually succeeding. That's where you destroy everything. The working part, when you've got clarity and you're pushing and pushing and pushing, that's the part where everything gains momentum and you actually start to see good results. So what my point is, Driven Mofos, let's go. Clarity, courage, execute. Clarity, courage, execute. Clarity, courage, execute. If you lack clarity, you go into learn helplessness and you probably can't figure it out yourself because if you could, you would have already done it. The next thing, so you've got to reach out to an expert. The next thing is you need courage. Courage doesn't come from asking everyone else if it's okay for you to do what you want to do in life. Courage comes from saying, this is what I'm going to do. Let's go do it. And you back yourself and you go for it. After you do that enough times, you realize that you'll always make everything work anyway. So I don't fear losing anything because I back myself. And that's the only thing that matters. I don't give a shit about the game plan. I give a shit about how I respond to the game plan. Because not all game plans work. Sometimes someone gives you advice that doesn't work. Good. Figure it out and keep moving forward. What are you going to do? Drop back into learn helplessness? Complain, bitch and moan? Whinge? Go backwards? Fuck that. That's not the way forward. So anyway, Driven Mofos, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If this is the ass kicking you need, remember to share this on social media as well so other people can hear it and tag me in it. If you're on any of the social media platforms, make sure you tag me as well so I can send my thanks and appreciate you. I know there's a lot of you out there who do that. So massive thank you to all those who do that. Anyway, Driven Mofos, have a great day. Keep kicking ass. Get rid of learn helplessness. It's absolutely horrible. It will destroy your mental health. It will destroy your life. and you'll just become one of those people who suck other people's energies out of them. Don't do that. Be the energy and the life force around other people because you've got the courage and the clarity to commit to things, and then you go for it. Anyway, take care, have a great day, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Most people waste their life, and I just don't want you to be one of them.